Thanks for joining in today. We're going to do the same as usual. We're going to do 10 different exercises, a minute and a half on each exercise for the first round, have a little bit of a rest, and then we are going to repeat those same 10 exercises and just do them for a minute each instead of the minute and a half. We'll start off with a little bit of a warm-up, finish off with a few stretches, just to sort of keep the body nice and loose and limber. And yeah, that's about the extent of it. So please make sure you listen to your body. If anything doesn't feel right, doesn't feel comfortable, then please, just wait that exercise out. I will give you modifications as well. So for each exercise that we do, there's generally the base version, and then maybe the next version up, and then maybe another progression again. So there'll be sort of 2 or 3 progressions for each exercise. So just pick what works for you. If you need to sit down, have a rest, that's absolutely fine. We're adding a couple of little balance exercises in today. So make sure the chair that you're using is sturdy enough for you to hold on to. Make sure you feel secure in your balance. Don't need any equipment today except for our usual foot sliders, so either paper plate, plastic plate, or tea towel, dishcloth, cloth of any type, just so that you can get a little bit of slide happening on this whatever surface your floor happens to be. If you have floorboards or tiles or lino or whatever, just socks is fine as well. Because there's not a huge amount of stuff that we need shoes on today, so if you don't have any other options, socks is absolutely fine. I think that's all that I need to say about that. So we will go and get started with our warm-up. So once again, thanks for joining me, and let's get started. All right, so with our warm-up today, we're just going to start with a little bit of a march on the spot. Now, I set the camera up this way today because it was really gloomy and dark, but now that we've started this, the sun has decided to come out, so can't really complain about that though. All right, I'm going to do some heel taps out in front, so just tapping the heel on the ground out in front of you, just to try to get those legs a little bit warmer. That's the way. And then we're going to do some toe taps behind. So just make sure you've got plenty of room around you. And then we're going to go out to the side. That's the way. Just trying to get those legs moving. So yeah, do whatever pace works for you. You don't have to go the same speed as me. You can go a little bit slower, you can go a little bit faster. It doesn't matter. All right, we're going to go to a march on the spot, and I want you to try and bring those knees up really nice and high, just as high as comfortable for you. I'm just going to move forward a little bit because that sun is right in my eyes. Beautiful. All right, just go back to just a nice light march on the spot, arms out to the side. Start off with some nice little circles going forwards, getting bigger and bigger. I'm going to warm those arms and shoulders up. So again, just do what you can with this. If you have sore shoulders, just keep it within your pain-free range of motion. And going back the other way, nice and big. And then slowly bringing them in, just smaller and smaller circles. Beautiful. Give those arms a little bit of a shake. All right, hopefully we're feeling warmed up, ready to go. So we will need a chair for the exercises, and as I said, your foot sliders if you've just joined us. The first exercise we're going to do is standing up, however, so use your chair for a little bit of balance if you need it. Otherwise, don't need your chair for the first exercise. So the first exercise is a little bit of a balance one. So what I want you to do is have a soft bend in that supporting leg. We're going to tap our foot forward, to the side, behind. Forward, side, behind. So you're keeping a bend in that supporting leg, and that will just help you with your balance, because if you lock that knee out, it's a little bit harder to balance. If you do want to, you can get your foot slider and you can slide around like so. So either option is fine. So when you're ready, let's get going. So time starts now. So first version, bend knee, hold on, step, step, step. And you can just come straight back forward again, or you can choose to go back around. So side, behind, side, in front. Side, behind, side, in front. If you can, do it without holding on. That's the next challenge. And then if you want to, grab your foot slider, slide around, whoops, and slide back. It behaves itself. So slide and slide, but mine's not going to behave itself on this mat. So it's going to go back to my taps. So keep going for about another 10 seconds on this leg, and then we're going to change sides. All right, changing legs. So tap forward, side, back, side, forward, side, back, side. That's the way. So that just challenges that supporting leg. Also gets the muscles working in that, that leg that's moving as well. Because you are changing your basic support, you're challenging your balance and your core muscles as well. So win-win, really. That's the way. And that's why I say keep that knee bent. Because if you try and lock out that leg and do it, you're going to be a little less steady. So give yourself the best chance to stay nice and stable. Try to keep our hips nice and level as well. So our upper body is not really moving, it's just that leg. All right, resting there. Next exercise is a seated exercise. So we are going to take our hands out to the side, hands on our shoulders, up to the ceiling, back to our shoulders, back out. So this is probably the medium level. Just holding them out and tapping in and out is the easier version. Feeling like you're up to it, adding the shoulder lift. And if you really want to challenge yourself, then hold on to something as a little bit of a weight as well. So the thing to watch with this one is that you're keeping your shoulders through here nice and relaxed. We don't want to do this. We want to keep those shoulders down and relaxed. Even though we're lifting our arms up, those shoulders stay nice and relaxed. That's the way. So keep going with that. Oops, put another 30 seconds or so. So if your arms are getting tired, just give them a shake, have a quick break, reset your shoulders, and then off you go again when you're ready. There's no requirement to keep going for the full minute and a half if you need a break. So that's what I mean when I say listen to your body, take it at your own pace, make sure you look after yourself. Back to the side and up, side and up. And about 5 seconds to go, I think. Beautiful, that should just about do us. All right, next exercise is our sit to stand. So one of my favourite exercises to do at home. So feet on the ground, hands on your knees if you need to, standing up, sitting back down. So when we're sitting back down, we're really pushing our bottom back as we sit and coming up. So I've got two progressions for you today. One is just hover over the chair, stand up, don't actually put your weight on the chair. The other is we're going to stagger our legs. So one leg is further forward, one leg stays in the normal position, and we're going to stand up and sit down. And stand up and sit down. Hi, Mike. Stand up and sit down. Now, if you are doing that staggered leg version, then swap legs about now. Just doing that, it puts a little bit more weight through that rear leg, makes that leg work a little bit harder. So it's just another variation to our good old sit to stands. So, and again, we're still trying to sit down nice and slowly. We're not collapsing down onto the chair. So slowly push back and up. As much as you can, try and keep that weight through your heels, particularly as you're sitting back down. That'll help you control that movement. So another 5 seconds to go. And for the next exercise, we're going to use our foot sliders. So grab hold of those, stay seated. I'm going to scoot back a little bit so that you can see my feet. And what we're going to do is we're going to slide both legs out, both legs in, both legs out, both legs in. So forward and out. So a little bit different to what we have been doing. If that doesn't feel right for you, you can go back to just doing the alternating legs. That's absolutely fine. Otherwise, try and slide both legs forward, both legs back, out to the side, back in. So from the side, you want to take your bottom right towards the front of the chair. So forward, in, out, in. Forward, in, out, in. When you're going forward, try not to lean back to counterbalance yourself. Try and just control that movement going forwards and out, so that you're keeping your body up nice and straight as you move those legs forward and out. About 30 seconds to go with those. So as you can see, if you've been joining us for the last couple of weeks, I really like sit to stands. I think they're a really useful exercise, really functional. And I also love these foot sliders as well. I think they're so easy, so versatile. There's heaps you can do with them. And yeah, I think they're worth finding something that you can use around the house. All right, next exercise. Have a stand up. We're going to do some donkey kicks. So what they look like is leaning forward from your hips. Use your body, the chair to support your body weight. Bend your knee and push your foot behind. So keep the knee still. The knee doesn't straighten or bend. The knee stays in that position. And as you push your foot back, I want you to think about squeezing the muscle in your bottom. Just go a fraction. So pushing back and in. Squeeze those muscles in your bottom as you take that leg back. That's the way. And we've got about 5 seconds to go, and then we're going to change legs. So it's really, it's really tempting to sort of swing your leg and straighten it, but I want you to really concentrate on keeping that knee in the exact same position and let those muscles in your bottom do all the work. So it's a movement happening at your hip, not at your knee. That's the way. So by leaning forward and letting your body weight come through the chair, it's going to keep your back protected as well. And keep going for another 15 seconds. Push and back in. Good. We've got an upper body exercise coming up next. So give our legs a little bit of a rest. 3, 2, 1. All right. Have a sit back down again. And we're going to do our shoulder squeezes. So this is another one, if you've been joining us for a while, that I particularly like. So hands out in front, make a fist, bring that fist back towards your armpits, squeeze your shoulder blades, relax. So that's the base version. So it's just thinking about really squeezing those muscles between your shoulder blades without lifting up through your neck and the top of your shoulders. So squeeze, relax. If you want to progress that a little bit, squeeze, hands up, back down and forwards. So by doing that little extra lift, it just makes you maintain that squeeze through your shoulder blades for a little bit longer, makes those muscles work a little bit harder. So the reason I really like this exercise is because so much of what we do in our day-to-day life involves leaning forward, driving, cooking, cleaning, using computers, using phones. Everything makes us lean forward, and we get really tight muscles through our chest and really weak muscles in our back. So by using those muscles in our back, it's going to help keep them strong. Also offers a really nice stretch through your chest as well. So don't forget to have a little bit of a rest if you need to. Give those arms a shake, set those shoulders, and go again. Squeeze, hands up, down, and forwards. Squeeze, hands up, down, and forwards. Nearly there. Beautiful. All right. Next exercise we don't need our chair for. So we're just basically going to do a side step, and that is your base version. So just have a little bend in your knees if you can, stepping side to side. If you want to take that up a level, have a great, bend in your knees. So you're sort of holding that crouch position that you can see happening in my bending my hips there, bending my knees. And if you really want to challenge yourself, we're going to step to the side and we're going to lift. Step to the side, lift. So that is the more challenging version. But yeah, just stick with whatever feels comfortable for you. Side to side. So take as big a step as you feel comfortable doing. So if that means just sort of about shoulder width apart, that's fine. But if you can push it a little bit further, that's going to work those muscles in your hips a little bit more. So try and take a nice big step if you can. If you're not feeling hugely confident in your balance, please feel free to do this behind your chair so that you've got something to hold on to as well. Excuse me. Another 10 seconds to go, so try and keep those nice big steps happening. That's the way. And 3, 2, 1, and resting there. Give those legs a shake if you need to. Next exercise is some high knee marching, but we're just going to do it with one leg, which isn't really marching, but anyway. So when you bring the knee up, just tap your toe on the ground. So lift up, gently tap down. So you're not really transferring your weight through to the ground, it's just a gentle tap. So lift, tap. Hold on to your chair for balance if you need to. Lift, tap. So as you can see, my leg is just sort of coming straight up in front of me. If you want to progress that a little bit, then take your leg further away from you. It's going to challenge the muscles in your tummy a little bit more. And your balance. The lift, lower, and swap legs. So base version is holding on and just bringing that knee straight up. Extra challenge, don't hold on. Extra challenge again, straighten that leg out a little bit. Try as much as you can to keep your hips nice and level. So we are not sort of hitching our hip to lift our leg, and that will make your balance worse. So try and keep nice and level to lift and lower. That's the way. And we've got 2 more exercises to go after this one. So you're doing really well, everyone. Then you get to have a drink break. Lift, lower. 5 more seconds. Whoop. Start to get wobbly as you get tired. All right, have a sit back down in your chair. And we're going to do some lateral bends. So what that means, some bends off to the side. So keep your shoulders up nice and straight over the top of your hips. Lean off to the side, back to center. So keep going in the same direction for me. And if you want to take that a little bit further, the opposite arm comes up, over, and back. So a nice slow controlled movement, nice big stretch up the side there and back to the center. So stretch and center. I'll tell you when to switch sides. Beautiful. All right, and switching over to other side. So remember, you can just do your straight bend if that's what you feel comfortable with, or you can add in that extra little arm. Again, this isn't really a movement that we do a lot, so those muscles tend to get quite tight, but it's really nice to sort of move in different ways and make sure all those muscles are working and moving. So again, with this one, make sure your shoulders stay over your hips. So you're not leaning forward to do it. You're keeping nice and straight and just making sure that those muscles in the side there are the ones that are doing the work. With 10 seconds to go. And 3, 2, 1. All right, this one we're going to stand behind our chair. I'm going to combine 2 exercises into one. So a little knee bend or a squat, whatever you want to call it, and then we're going to come up onto our toes. So little bend in the knees, up onto your toes. So base version is just straight heel raises. That's absolutely fine. If you can, try and just get a little bend in the knees and up onto your toes. So even though we're not doing a big bend, it's the same as our sit to stand. Those hips go back and up. So you don't want to see those knees going over toes. So hips are the ones that go back. If you want to progress that further, deeper squat. So really push those hips back as if you're going to sit in your chair and stand back up and up onto your toes. So with your heel raises, just come as high as comfortable. Try not to let your legs flare out to the side. Try and keep them nice and straight. That's the way. And we've got about 25 seconds to go. So if you need a rest, please take it. Otherwise, might need to just regress it for a little minute. Just go to your heel raises just to try and keep moving. And then if you can, go back to that little bit of a deeper knee bend. Squat. And up onto your toes. So 3, 2, 1. Well done, everyone. Resting there. Okay, so hopefully everyone found that okay. Grab yourselves a drink, have a little bit of a breather, and when we come back, we're going to do those same 10 exercises again, but with just a minute on the timer, instead of a minute and a half. So, excuse me, talking too much. Gosh, looking out the window now, it is beautiful blue sky, sunny as. Wouldn't know that we'd had sideways rain about half an hour ago. So, yeah, crazy Tassie weather. But anyway, so if anyone happens to be joining us from anywhere else in Australia, I'm based in Launceston in Tasmania. And yeah, we often experience 4 seasons in one day. So this is nothing new for us. But anyway. Okay, hopefully everyone's had a little bit of a rest, and we are going to do all of those exercises again, but just a minute on the timer. So let me just change my timer. All right, ready to go. So make sure you've got your chair handy, your foot sliders handy as well. As the first exercise we're going to do are those toe taps. So hold onto the back of your chair if you need to. Otherwise, we're going to tap forward, side, back. Side, forward, side, back, side. Woo. So try and keep those hips nice and level. Keep that soft bend in your knee. And we're going to swap legs about the halfway mark. So I'll let you know when it's time to swap. And you're trying to keep the tap nice and light. So you're not really putting any weight through that toe or that leg that's moving. And change legs. It's really just sort of giving you a little bit of, a point to balance with, but you're not actually transferring the weight through. It's just a nice, gentle tap. You really want that supporting leg to be doing almost all of the work. And as I said, good challenge for your balance and good warm up for those legs as well. That's the way. 1. All right. Next exercise was our shoulder tap. So grab your chair if you need. So that was either hands out and just tapping into your shoulders back out. Otherwise, shoulders, ceiling, shoulders out. Shoulders up, shoulders down. Remembering that we are keeping our traps, so that's those muscles from our shoulders up to our neck, relaxed. So if you find yourself getting really tight like this, stop, relax, and start again. That's the way. So again, if you want to progress this one, just hold some weights in your hand. Something as easy as a couple of tins of food. They're just shy of 500 grams each, half kilo. So just an extra little challenge to get those arms feeling like they're definitely working. Whoops. Up. And done. All right. Next one was our sit to stands. So either straight, normal sit to stands as we have been doing the last few weeks, or hover over your chair, stand up, or stagger those legs one in front of the other, where the leg that's back is the one where your normally position would be. So you're just moving one leg forward and pushing that weight through the leg that's back, basically. And if you've been doing that, change legs. And that just allows you to put a little bit more weight through that one side. Makes it a little bit more challenging, obviously. So even if you keep just your heel of the front leg on the ground, that's a really good extra challenge as well, because it means you can't put as much weight through it. So really making you use that back leg. And 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Grab those foot slides. So I'm just going to stay where I am. Because we are sliding forward, out to the side. Forward, out to the side. That's the way. So, yeah, as I said before, these foot sliders are really versatile. There's heaps of stuff that you can do with them. So, you can actually get proper ones. Pretty sure Kmart sell like these little plastic round discs that work quite nicely. But yeah, budget option, paper plates, tea towels, clean the floor at the same time. That's the way. We've got 15 seconds to go. Remember, the key with this one is to keep your bottom towards the front of the chair. If you sit too far back, you won't have that range to move the legs as much as we would like. Beautiful. All right, next exercise was our donkey kicks. So that's where we are standing, leaning forward at the hips, weight through the back of the chair, bend your knee to roughly just under 90 degrees, push your heel back. It's almost like you're trying to push the wall behind you away. And again, that movement comes just from your hips. It's just my hip that's moving, my knees staying in the same position. All right, change legs, bend, push, and back in. And I know I've said it before, I'm going to say it again, squeeze those muscles in your bottom as much as you can, particularly right there at the end of that movement, and back in. So the more you think about engaging the muscle, the harder it's going to work, the better it's going to work. So if you know what muscles you're supposed to be feeling, that can kind of help. So that's why I try to, get you to think about those muscles as we go through. All right, have a sit down and shoulder squeezes. So hands out in front, big strong squeeze and back. And again, think about those muscles between your shoulder blades. The more you think about squeezing those muscles, the better they're going to work. So again, squeeze, hands up, hands down, and out if you want to take it that little bit further. If you have any issues with your shoulder, you might find doing that rotation there is a little bit painful. So just keep it at that shoulder squeeze. But if you can, squeeze, hands up, down, forward. And really think about maintaining that squeeze between the shoulder blades as you lift your hands forward. Squeeze, hands up, down, and forwards. And keep that going for about another 5 seconds or so, I think. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Don't let those muscles around your neck creep up. Okay, next exercise is our side step. So again, start off just with a side step. If you want to take it further, bend your knees. And really think about taking as big a step as comfortable for you. If you want to take it a little bit further again, we're doing a side lift, side lift. So you sort of don't travel as much with that lift. You're kind of just transferring your weight and lifting that leg. Otherwise, nice big wide steps. That really gets those postural muscles in the sides of your hips working really nicely. And by keeping that little knee bend, it's going to get those muscles in your thighs working as well, which is never a bad thing because they're a very, very functional muscle. We need them for getting out of chairs and doing all our daily activities. So keeping them strong, very important. All right, single leg march. So lift, touch, lift, lightly touch. If you can, do this without holding on. So lift and don't even let your toe touch the ground if you can. So it's just to lift and lower. The straighter you take the leg out in front of you, the harder it's going to be. Closer in, easier it's going to be. So just pick what works either side. So obviously hold on if you need to. But yeah, you're more than welcome to try and challenge yourself and try and do it without holding on. Make that balance work. Good. Slow and controlled. So it's not only working your balance, the strength muscles in your legs, it's also working the muscles in your core and in your abs as well. So multi-purpose. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. All right, have a seat again. And we're going to do some lateral bends. So off to the side, up to the center. Take that arm over the top, if you wish, back to the center. So a really nice stretch and back to the center. That's the way. So another 10 seconds also on this side. Good, one more I reckon on this side. And then we'll change sides. So to the side, and up. That's the way. So again, you're making sure that your shoulders stay over the top of your hips. When you're coming over to the side, you're not trying to lean forward or anything like that. Nice side bend. That's the way. And you should really feel that stretch from your hip all the way up under this, up to the underarm. Beautiful. All right, last exercise, which was our heel raises. So, easiest version, just up onto your toes, back down. So heel raises. If you want to progress that a little bit of a knee bend, and up on your toes, progress that a little bit further. Nice deep knee bend, and try not to hold on as well. So you can do it without using your hands. But obviously, if you feel a little bit wobbly, particularly standing up on your toes, then that chair's there if you need it. Oops. Just like that. Good. To your toes. Good. If you need to have a rest, please do. But we have officially got 15 seconds of these exercises left. So keep going if you can. Into our last 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and done. Well done, everyone. To finish off, we're just going to do some stretches. So grab a quick drink if you need it. And then we'll do some stretches. So, first stretch. We are going to take one arm across our body like so, and then use the other arm to hug it in. If that feels really awkward and it just doesn't feel right for you, put your hand on your shoulder and then just support that hand with your elbow. But do whatever feels comfortable. Now, ideally, you want to hold stretches for about 30 seconds each. We don't have time for that today. Sorry, swap sides. But yeah, it's good to just kind of keep everything moving. But if you really want to get into a good stretching session, then hold them for a little bit longer. Beautiful. All right, bring those arms up in front. You can either lock your fingers together or just hold onto your hands. Drop your head, and I want you to push your hands away from you, so you're rounding through your back. Dropping that head, really get those muscles in between your shoulder blades. Feeling like they're having a nice stretch. Head up, bring those shoulders back in, and then turn your hands away from you. Beautiful. Keep those shoulders relaxed. Give them a little bit of a shake, and then take your arms up behind you. So you just want to go as far as comfortable. You can clasp them together if you wish, but just do, again, whatever feels comfortable for you. Beautiful. Give those arms a bit of a shake. All right, sitting or standing. Actually, we'll do standing because you can always use your chair to hold on to. So what we're going to do, put our heel on the ground with our toe up towards the ceiling, and we're going to stick our bottom back, and should feel a stretch all the way up the back of that leg. So you can play around with having your foot flat or heel on the ground, doesn't matter. Do what's better for you. So this back leg here is bent, and this front leg is nice and straight. And swap legs, so bend that other leg, and nice and straight there, so you're stretching out through the back of your leg. So you can do this sitting down, just have your bottom towards the front of your chair so that you can try and extend that leg. Beautiful. All right, this one's always a challenging one, so see how you go. But holding onto the back of your chair, try and grab your pants, your ankle, your sock, your shoe, whatever you can, and try and bring your heel up towards your bottom as much as you can. So for some people, that's down here, absolutely fine. Just do whatever works for you. We're trying to get a stretch going through the front of those leg muscles there. So they've worked quite hard today, so we want to give them a little bit of a relax. Change legs. So again, grab whatever you can grab hold of. Try and stay up nice and straight as well. Easier said than done, but just do your best. Beautiful. Now take one leg back behind you. So both toes are pointing forward, front knee is bent, back leg is straight, and we're stretching down into the calf muscle, which is the one down the bottom of our back leg there. All right, and changing sides. This way. So So a lot of people find that their calf muscles get really, really tight. So this is quite a nice one to do on a regular basis. And step those feet back in and give your arms and legs a little bit of a shake. And that is us done for the day. So thank you once again for joining us. Hopefully you enjoyed that. If you like and follow the Body Connect Exercise Physiology page, that will give you updates on to when I go live. So it's 12:15 every Monday, but I usually post something the day of to remind everyone. And that's, just a good way to get a little reminder that these sessions are on. Otherwise, stay safe, everyone. I hope the weather improves, continues to improve. Otherwise, I will see you all next week. So thanks again. Bye.